Hello, how we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and I will be sorting cards for grading purposes today. The fourth of our Score 1991 set. We broke apart a 1991 Score set. Here's the box right here. You can't really see it because of the green screen, but it's right there, I promise. And that's kind of cool. I disappear. But we split into 4 different videos across the last 8 sorting. We made sure we did something different in between. So this is it. This will finish it out. I don't think there's going to be a lot into this video that we pull out. I think it's going to be mostly, well, obviously it'll definitely be mostly cards for giveaway, but I think more so than the previous videos. I just think this is kind of the middle of the set, and the real stars have been on the outlying numbers. So except for like some random all-star cards or highlight cards or stuff like that, I think from the regular cards, we're going to get very few. But let's get going. Let's get this started. Because there are approximately 200 to 250 cards, it will take a little while. So let's not delay too long and get this video up. All right. We're starting with the white portion. If you've been watching, you know that we have that Score has different colors bordered throughout. We have the white and the blue today. So the white borders usually have things like all-star cards and highlight cards. You see there, that's a highlight, K-Man card in it. So inserts. So we'll see some stuff. Otis Nixon, John Moses, K-Man, Mark Langston. I don't really care about Mark Langston. K-Man, David Cohn. I do like David Cohn, but not enough to collect his cards. I just want to get a couple of his rookie cards. Mark Newfield, Todd Van Poppel. Now that was a big one to chase back in the day. We talk about ones I chased there. There's very few that was chased as heavily as Todd Van Poppel. I believe he was the #1 overall pick, and best high school pitching prospect in years. Todd would have been the nation's #1 pick if he hadn't said he wanted to go to college. Oh, so that's why he was going to go to college, and so he didn't go #1. But Mark Dewey, Jeff McKnight, David Walsh, Terry Schrumpert, Brian McRae, rookie prospect. Had a decent career, I guess. Dan Petrie, Von Hayes, Jesse Barfield, rifleman. Kevin Mitchell, Master Blaster. We went through this 2 episodes ago. We went through a previous stack of these, and most of these Master Blasters and stuff were people we'd keep. The Barry Bonds of the worlds, the K-Mans were Nolan Ryans. Now we're running into all the also rans that also were really worthy of getting the cards. Ozzie Guillen, All-Star. Carl Everett. This was another one that we were hoping for. It wasn't as big of a chase as Todd Van Poppel, but Carl Everett, first-round pick for the Yankees. Rookie prospect Chuck McElroy, Rafael Nova, Anthony Telford. We also pulled the 2 big rookies already. Ozzie Canseco, that's Jose's brother. Never panned out. We already pulled the Chipper Jones and the Mo Vaughns, so I don't think there's anything else in this set worth pulling, but we'll see. Jamie Moyer, Jr., Nova, Nolan Ryan highlights. If you've been watching, you know that at this point, we are pulling any Nolan Ryan insert, any Nolan Ryan non-base card, and even some of the base cards in the case of the 89 set 89 Upper Deck set we went through, and we are sticking them. Well, the 89 stuff we sent off to PSA already, and should be back tomorrow, guys. In fact, this should be posted before it's back, so tomorrow I should be receiving them. But every Nolan Ryan card that's like an insert like this, during this time period, 89 through 92-ish, he was hitting a lot of highlights, a lot of records, a lot of things like a 6th no-hitter and 5,000 strikeouts and stuff like that. So he was getting a lot of special cards during this time. We're sending every 300 career victories. We're sending every one of these to our look into it pile, and most of them will get PSA'd. If I look and see that there are sales of it in PSA and they're under $20, then maybe I won't. But even then, I might do it just to have it. It's if you have certain cards from Michael Jordan. And not to say that Nolan Ryan sells as well as Michael Jordan. He never will. He's a pitcher. Even though he's arguably the greatest of all time. There are certain ones that are just like, yeah, people will keep chasing this. People will keep wanting this. And cards like that, I don't suspect people to throw into PSA that often, so they probably have a low pop count. We've talked about low pop counts in the past and how I'm going to focus on cards that other people aren't going to have at their tables. And I've never seen a card like that sitting at a table. So having it there and having a $40 price tag on it, having someone negotiate me down to $35, yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. Eric Davis. Ricky Henderson. There we go. That one. Oh, I forgot all about my boy. Ricky Henderson goes to my PC, but it is the Mike Mussina #1 draft pick. Mike Mussina is arguably, I say arguably, but really not arguably, is my favorite pitcher of all time. We talk a lot about my third baseman, and I have several third basemen that are not even considered greats, barely considered goods, that are just on my top 5 list. That's because my list, why are we having trouble today? That's because my list isn't based on just statistics, I guess is what I'd say. It's based on where I was and how much I liked them and where, what team they were on and, where I was in life at the time that they came in the league. Mike Mussina is someone I chased, someone who I feel panned out from being chased. It's not often that I tell you constantly, I chase this guy, I chase this guy. I constantly chase people that fail. So when I chase someone that hits, that has a special place in my heart. And then he became a Yankee, and I was a Yankee fan at the time because there were no Rays. So he is one of my top 5 pitchers of all time, along with Nolan Ryan, Greg Maddux, and Justin Verlander is a 4th. I don't know who my 5th is. I have it. I have a list of them, and that one kind of wavers. But those 4 are pretty much set. But I think he's my #1 of those 4. Even though I know that of those 4, he's probably the 4th best, So Bill Hasselman, Paul Abbott, Jim Poole, Jose Offerman, we chased him. Jeff Manto, Tony Fernandez, Eric Plunk, Rifleman Bo Jackson, and then Cayman Ramon Martinez. We're gonna move the Ramon Martinez, but we are going to put the Rifleman Bo Jackson into my PC. That is one that, like the Nolan Ryan, I may end up considering getting graded. Bo Jackson has that potential on every one of his cards. There is one Bo Jackson card in the score set, not this score set, but in there are actually a couple. The Bo Nose cards and stuff like that. One in baseball, one in football particularly, that when I pull it, I will be grading it. That it will be like one of the top cards I'm looking to get graded. So Julio Franco. So special Bo Jackson cards, like special Nolan Ryan cards, have potential. That Rifleman probably not, but I might do it anyway. Adam Heisenzu, Mark Lee. I saw the white and I knew there was potential for this stuff, but I didn't realize there were so many prospects in this set. Darren Reed, Scott Champanero, Phil Plantier. That's one I chased hard. Pedro Munoz, Pat Combs, Pat Borders, Bo Jackson, 1990 highlight, 4 straight homers. I don't know if that is never been done before that. How often it's been done in toto. But yeah, that is a Bo Jackson highlight. See, and having like those 2 graded on the table and getting $60 to $70 combined for the 2 of them assuming I can send them in at the time I can get them graded for $15. You know, that's not a bad thing. And if not, and they sit in my Bo Jackson collection, okay, well, that's fine too. Sandy Alomar, Lance Dickinson, Jeremy Burnitz, that's another one that we had a slight chase on. Carl Rhodes, Rafael Valdez, Mike Benjamin, Todd Hudley, Bob Guerin, Mike Witt. I feel like we already had these cards, and Guerin and Witt were in a different one, just different colors. Ken Caminiti, Rifleman, Bobby Witt, K-Man, Cecil Fielder, All-Star, Rondell White we chased for a while. Mike Bell, Scott Leas, Kevin Wickander, Darren Lewis, Thomas Howard, Junior Ortiz, Jimmy Key, Bobby Thigpen, that's my guy, saves record set. This is, I talked in a previous video, the classic video, the most recent video we did about Bobby Thigpen. He's one of my all-time favorite closers. And this is about the time where I fell in love with him when he set that record. Bobby Bonilla, Master Blaster. All right, let's move all of those. Large chunk of, I'd say, a fourth of what we're doing today. We're going to move these over to the giveaway stack. Then we're going to grab the other half of the half stack. And we're going to start with Jose Canseco. Let's just stick that right into my PC. Underneath it, Alex Fernandez of the White Sox. That was a very light chase, but that was a chase. And probably should have been a little heavier because I think of the chases, he's one of the ones that had a slightly more successful career than most of the people we chased. Dave Pavlos, Dave Segui, Mark Witten, Louis Soho, Bo Aldred, Rance Mullinkins, Tim Tuffle, Shawan Dunston, Rob Dibble, Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs is a great, but he's just at a position for me where, and I mean, he played for the Yankees back when I was a Yankee fan. He played for the Rays when I was a Rays fan. But he just played at a position that's just so loaded up for me with Mike Schmidt and Evan Longoria, and then the two guys that we talk about all the time, and Travis Fryman, or three guys, Travis Fryman, Robin Ventura, Matt Williams, that he fits in there. He's a top 10 for me, but he's not even, I mean, he's top 5, I guess, but I mean, he just goes in there with those guys. Julio Valera, Tim McIntyre. He's not one of the top 2. The top 2 are like set in stone guys. And then the next 3 are just like Bobby Thigpen or Mike Mussina, where they just, I fell in love with them because of the time period, because of the chase, because of the everything that was going on, and didn't like Boggs early on because he was a Red Sox. So, that kind of stuff. That's why you collect what you like and not just collect for money. Darryl Irving, Steve Fry, Al Newman, Benito Santiago, Fred McGriff, Ken Griffey Jr., 1990 All-Star Ken Griffey Jr. This, like the other one, it's a second-year Griffey All-Star card. Just like the Bo Jackson, I could see me getting that graded just because it's a second-year Griffey. Dan Smith, I wouldn't be opposed to having it in my collection if it ends up not being a high sale card. Mickey Morandini, Steve Howard, Tim Nearing, that's one we chased. Pete Coachman, Jeff Schultz, Tom O'Malley, Carlton Fisk, home run record. That's my catcher. We don't talk about him enough, but I do bring him up in random videos. It just seems like his cards don't come up. I know this is towards the end of his career, and I'm doing a lot of cards that are kind of like right at the end or right after his career. But he did play when I watched. He was my guy. He's my catcher. A lot of people were a Johnny Bench guy, or Mike Piazza, who came after him, and he kind of just hit my sweet spot. Ramon Martinez, Bobby Thigpen, Roger Clemens. I like Yogi Berra. I like Johnny Bench. I never really got to watch them play. And I like Mike Piazza, but Mike Piazza was part of the next generation, the Pudge and Mike, and by then you're talking about the Derek Jeters and Alex Rodriguez, which I also like, but don't fit into my world quite as good as those late 80s, early 90 guys that I really make my team out of. Almost my whole team is those guys. Derek May, Mel Stoudemire Jr., Terry Wells, Jim Vatcher, Mike Bordick, Dream Team Jose Canseco. Now, there's all sorts of Dream Team cards in this set. 1 of 13 Dream Team. But all the other Dream Teams were somewhere else. Is this one like float in at this spot, or did it get set in the wrong spot of the set? That's a funny one just to get graded because of the look of it. I almost feel like grade it just so you can say, look, he's dreamy, go get him. Scott Garrels, Rick Honeycutt, Frank Willis, Rick Ronga, Randy Myers, Bob Tewksbury, Jerry Brown, Mario Duncan, and Jose Lynn. And as you see, we've moved into the blue. Once you hit the blue, all those special subset stuff is gone. Most of this blue is going to be done pretty quickly. We'll get through it. Let's see how we do that. Let's see how quick we can go through this. All right. Steve Betterosen. Only thing that's going to slow us down is them sticking together like that. Damon Berryhill. Rick Rushkel. Charlie Lebrun. Bruce Ruffin. Mike Moore. Mark Eichhorn. Steve Olin. Dave Parker. Mike Gallego. Rick Mahler. Ron Darling. Brian Smith. Mike Kingery. Greg Litton. Pat Perry. Bill Pacoda. Bobby Witt. Not that Bobby Witt, and I don't think that's his dad. It might be, though. I never really thought to look into that. Julio Franco. Billy Ripken. Gary Sheffield. John Orton. And Mike Bilecki. All right, let's see. Mike Aldretti. Dave Clark. Eddie Binez. Greg Brock. Mark Gardner. Keith Comstock. Mark Williamson. Now I remember why my TV is usually here. Because watching the screen to see the card, it looks like I'm looking into the camera. Now I'm looking off to the side. Ha ha ha. Howard Davis. It's been a while, so I was like, why is my key? I can see my TV from my monitor fine here. Gene Nelson. Chris Sabo. Ken Howell. Alfredo Griffin. Oral Hershiser. Scott Bales. Norm Charlton. Danny Tartable. Brad Arnsberg. Ruben Sierra. Greg Olson. It's funny, on the TV screen, that the reason I moved over the monitor was so I could see the TV screen, and I was just playing YouTube videos while I was setting up, and then I just put it on my YouTube videos so I could watch previous ones if I wanted to, between pause and not stream, pause the stream and watch and listen to something I was doing or saying up there. It would be there and I could see it. And right now I'm going through this set, just part one. So it's kind of funny me seeing those cards going, oh, I wish it was that card instead of Wally Joyner and Brett Butler, Vince Coleman, Delano DeShields, Doc Gooden. That was a nice stretch there. No one that I pulled to my to my PC, but a couple that, one specifically, Doc Gooden, that I used to, and 3 or 4 mid-carders right in a row. And then the next card, the top card, of last half we got here, last quarter of what we're doing today, is definitely going to my my PC, and that's Robin Yount. I feel like I got to sit down and, I mean, I've said this before, but I kind of want to see where people stand in, because I split, when I think of my stuff, I split them as current versus all, retired or whatever. So Robin Yount is very high on my outfield list. He doesn't make my starting lineup, but I think he makes my secondary team lineup. As an outfielder, and I know he played infield for some time, but he doesn't crack the infield. But then when you start adding modern players like Mike Trout out there, it pushes him. So I wonder how far someone like Yount falls when you add modern players as well. Mike Scioscia, Barry Larkin. Same thing with like Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin doesn't make my top 2 teams, but I do like Barry Larkin. He's probably a top 5 shortstop for me, retired. You got Ripken and Jeter and Ozzie ahead of him, but he might be 4. But then when you start adding modern players, you start adding why is my head just the San Diego guy that's now playing outfield? I don't know why I can't think of his head out of my name. Names, you know me. Oh, speak of San Diego. There we go. That's one of my big guys. Most underrated player in my lifetime. Can't say of all time because I don't know, but definitely of my lifetime. And Eckersley, there's another one of my guys that I just don't think he makes my first team. I just don't think I collect his cards. I don't care. He's my closer on my starting team. John Smiley, I know he had a long career as a starter, but I really, really got to like him as a closer in the late 80s, early 90s. Frank Viola, the Hawk, we already talked about him not making the team. Terry Kennedy, Jim Ganter, Greg Vaughn, Bob Milacki, not making the team, making the cut of my PC. Joe Orsulak, Pete Harnish, Tom Candiotti, Doug Drabeck, Mike Stanton, Spike Owen, Ron Gant, Lonnie Smith, Roger McDowell, Jack Clark, Ron Robinson, Craig Worthington, Mike Fetters, Bill Wegman, B.J. Surhoff. So we're in 91. Dante Bichette is 89, so this is not a rookie. I do that with every Dante Bichette card, it seems. Dennis Rasmussen, Andre Scalaraga, Mike Sharperson. Is the second card there. Manny Lee, Tom Foley, Glenn Allen Hill, Dave Johnson, Greg Brinley, Eric Hansen, Dave Wells, Devin White, Dennis Martinez, Juan Samuel, David Cohn, Marvell Wayne, Wally Whiteheist, Storm Davis, Pete O'Brien, Chris James, Mike Schuler, Gene Larkin, Billy Hatcher, Fernando Valenzuela, and Kevin Mitchell. All right, that's it, guys. So we were able to go through that pretty quick once we got to the blue. I really think I only pulled two blue cards, Robin Yount and Tony Gwynn. Like we said, most of these stars were outliers. They had really high number cards or really low number cards. And the middle was saved for all this inserts and rookies and stuff. So, but we have this nice mini stack going to my PC. Tony Gwynn, Robin Yount, Jose Canseco, Roger Clemens, Carlton Fisk, Ken Griffey Jr., Wade Boggs, Jose Canseco, Bo Jackson, and Ricky Henderson. With the Bo Jackson, and Ken Griffey kind of in the consideration. I almost feel like I could, yeah, I'll do that. All right, we're gonna stick these in my PC. But these, we're actually gonna top load. I considered it when I pulled them. I kind of just thought about it throughout the video, what I wanted to do. But had to kind of make a last second decision there, since we are at the last seconds of the video. I should say last minutes of the video. I mean, you know me, I'm going to end up taking at least two to three more minutes talking to you guys, rambling on, because that's what I do. But we're going to take these 3 cards along with this Nolan Ryan, and we're going to stick these all in the look into it category. In the look into it, it's most likely going to get graded. I just want to make sure that I'm not being blinded by something and just saying, wow, 10.0 and they're selling at $7. Then even then, I'll have to think, well, I still may want to grade it just maybe a next level grade and keep it to myself. But Mike Mussina, rookie, that's the only one going to PSA. In the past, that would have went to next level because that's my guy. But part of what I'm doing is realizing that when I want to keep a card myself, because it's a card I love, if it does have value, then I may want to just do it PSA and be okay with it, with the ugly label. But we'll see how that plays out. I could always change my mind again because that's what I do. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will get this and the previous 2 videos posted right after this, and you will see me again soon. I don't know if I'll get any more done today, but you never know how the day goes. If something happens and I'm here and I'm all set up and I have another hour, then maybe I'll do another video. But you guys take care. I'll see you soon.